Welcome everyone. Today we'll explore how to define reusable code using Python functions. In the last session, we learned about comprehensions and different types of comprehensions like list, dictionary, and set comprehensions to write concise loops. And then we also checked about when not to write comprehensions. In this session, we'll learn how to define and use functions in Python. Functions helps us to group statements together into a particular code blocks for a certain specific task. Instead of repeating the code for multiple cases, we can simply call that particular function again so that the code is now made as reusable code. Uh, this makes our overall code program structure more organized and more readable. We'll start from very basics in this session, like defining a function using the def keyword, and then move about learning about parameters and return values. And finally, we'll learn how to set default values for any parameters. So uh, to define a function, we use the simple def keyword. This is followed by the function name that you want to pass in, and the parenthesis and the colon. If there are no parameters to be passed, the brackets or the parenthesis after the function name is empty. The body of the function is under indentation and can contain any valid code. Once this function is called, you can define the behavior, and based on the behavior, the final output will be generated by the function. So, uh, as discussed, functions also provide you like make your code more organizable, reusable, and adds a modular piece of code. So this makes a program easier to understand, debug, and maintain when, let's say, your code base becomes greater than, let's say, 100 lines, 500 lines, or if your code block is going to increase over 1,000 lines of code. So in that cases, a very well defined functions that can be reused for multiple cases can be very helpful. So like defining a very simple function. So how we can do is we can simply use the def keyword, then the greet, that would be my function name, the parenthesis that is empty here because we are not passing any parameters. End this line with a colon, and whatever next code you add shall be under the uh, indentation. So print hello, welcome to Python. And whenever we want to use this particular function, we can simply use like the greet function, or like greet and a blank empty parenthesis or empty brackets without any values. So this will call the function, and the print statement will be executed. Now talking about functions with parameters. So functions also accept some input values that are called as parameters. When we call the function, we can also provide these parameters or arguments that are assigned to this parameter. So now understand the difference between arguments and parameters. So parameters would be the values that the function is expecting, and the arguments will be the values that you pass for those parameters. So this makes our functions more flexible and dynamic. So in this example, uh, here the define function greet user name here is a parameter, and whenever we are calling the particular function greet user and we are passing values like Alice, Bob, those are arguments, and these arguments will be received by the function with in the name parameter. So here, if I run this, so you'll see it prints hello Alice and hello Bob. So what happened here is, instead of repeating this code print hello name, uh, what we are doing is we're simply creating a reusable code block that whenever you want to just print in an hello message for some person, you can simply call this greet user function and pass your argument that will be the name of that particular person, and it will just print a hello message for that person. So this is how we made our code reusable. When we scale to, let's say, your application, your API or your web application is scaled to 1,000 users, every time you just call this one simple functions and the hello message will be passed back to your user. Then returning values from functions. So functions return some values with the return keyword. This allows us to capture the result and use it in the further program workflows. Once the return value is executed, the function ends, and it's very helpful when we need to process the results generated by our function. So let's say I'm writing, let's say instead of return, I will just print uh, x multiplied by x. Uh, yeah. So what will happen here is, if you observe, you will see the print value here inside my function x multiplied by x was 25, but as the value came out of this particular function, this result value, you can see here, it is showing as null. Sorry, I mean none. So why this happened is because this value just got printed here. This value we did not return from this function to process further. So if I just comment this print statement and if I add this return statement now, what will happen is this return value x multiplied by x will be stored in the result variable, and when I print square is result. So here you can see square is 25. So where are these return values helpful is, let's say you have two functions, function 1, function 2. Output of function 1 acts as a input for function 2. So in those cases you should use return value, because print won't capture these values in a variable. It will just show up on the screen. So whenever you want to pass values between functions, or you want to use that particular value from a function into your code workflow, it is better advised to use return instead of just a normal print statement. Then, with respect to arguments, we have something called as default arguments. So here, if you will closely observe, in my function, I have already added name equal to guest. So how default value arguments work is, if I provide a value, so name equal to guest is already provided. If I, let's say, add a value like, let's say, Charlie, the output would be hello Charlie. But if I don't provide a name, it will just simply output hello guest. So uh, default values are helpful in cases where we don't want to we just want to avoid errors in case some arguments are missing, or a particular value for that arguments are never being generated. So let's say you can think of, let's say you are on a website, and you have not logged into that website, so there would be some message shown onto your screen that hello, uh, like some guest user ID, something like that. So in cases like that, what usually happens is, if they don't find your login ID or your login value, they will be using some certain guest value or certain default value to be shown onto the screen. So you can think something like that. This is the similar approach here. If we are not having the correct value for a particular parameter, we already provide a particular default argument for that parameter in the function itself. So let's say here, I will. So you can see, if I added Charlie, this value of name was overwritten, and here the value of name was equal to Charlie. And if I don't add any value here, if I just pass it empty, it will automatically use the default value, that is guest. If I make it something other, let's say guest 2, so it will use guest 2, something like this. So this is how the default arguments work. So in today's session, we covered how to define and use functions in Python using the def keyword. We learned how to pass inputs using parameters, understood about arguments, and we also understood how to return values from the function to reuse them in our further workflow. And we also saw how to make certain inputs optional, or we can pass in some default values for the parameters. This concept forms the foundations of functions and will be useful in almost every Python program you are going to write in future. Right. So in our next session, we'll see how to define functions that accept a variable number of arguments. We will see types of arguments as well. So yes, thank you for joining today's session. Let's meet in the next session. Have a nice day.